If your Facebook ads suddenly got more expensive, stopped converting, or just died, there's a reason. And it's probably not the reason you think. Nowadays, people jump straight into Ads Manager and start changing things. New audience, higher budget, kill the campaign, start fresh. And that usually makes things worse. There are 3 different types of my ad stopped working, and each has completely different causes and fixes. And if you're solving the wrong problem, you're burning budget while you do it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a diagnostic framework that splits the my ad stopped working into 3 phases: delivery, performance, and measurement problems. We'll go through each one so you can figure out which one you're dealing with, and I'll explain something at the end that ties it all together. It's a system change Meta made in late 2025 that advertisers still don't know about, and is the single biggest reason ads die faster now than they did a year ago. Let's get into it. So phase 1, your ads aren't spending at all. This is the best case scenario because it's usually the easiest to fix. If your ads are active in Ads Manager, but you're seeing 0 impressions, 0 spend, something mechanical is blocking delivery. First thing to check, your billing. An expired credit card or a failed payment will silently pause your entire account. Meta doesn't always flag this clearly. Your campaigns just stop running. While you're there, check your account spending limit. I've seen people forget they set 1 month ago, hit the ceiling, and then spend a week trying to debug a performance problem that was actually just a billing cap. The second is bid strategy. If you're running cost cap or bid cap and the cap is set too low, Meta can't win any auctions for you. This is especially common when people switch from highest volume to a cap strategy and set the cap based on what they want to pay rather than what the action requires. And third is policy violations. Check your account quality dashboard. Meta's automated moderation has gotten more aggressive in 2026, and ads get rejected without a clear explanation more often than they used to. Common triggers right now are health claims, before and after imagery, and anything in restricted product categories. And fourth, look at your delivery column. This tells you exactly where your campaign is stuck. If your delivery column says active, but you're still not getting impressions, it's usually a budget that's too low for your conversion. Conversion campaigns need enough budget to generate roughly 50 conversions within 7 days to exit the learning phase. If the math doesn't work, delivery gets throttled. So quick recap on phase 1, check billing, bid caps, policy flags, and lastly, check your delivery column. If none of these are the issue, your problem is in delivery, so you can move to phase 2. Phase 2 is where a lot of ad accounts land. Your ads are running and spending, but CPA keeps climbing and CTR is dropping, and your results just don't look like they used to. This is usually one of the 4 things. Creative fatigue versus creative failure. Fatigue means the ad worked, but your audience has seen it too many times. The angle and the concept are proven, it just needs a fresh version. Maybe a different hook, a different format, but the same core message. Failure is different. Failure means the creative never connected. The angle itself missed. Refreshing a failed concept with a new color or a different opening line won't fix it. You need a completely different direction. Meta flags both of these in Ads Manager. A creative fatigue label shows up when your cost per result hits 2 times your historical average for that ad. A creative limited label means costs are rising, but you haven't doubled yet. If you see fatigue, refresh the format. If nothing ever worked, rethink the angle entirely. Frequency is your early warning system. The metric that tells you fatigue is coming before Meta flags it as frequency. When frequency and the ad level passes 3.0, CPA tends to start climbing. Industry data suggests increases of 10 to 25% around that threshold, though the range varies by vertical. Very important. Check this at the ad level, not the campaign level. A campaign average of 2.1 can hide individual ads running at 5.0 or higher. These are the ones dragging performance down. Audience saturation and overlap. If you're running multiple ad sets targeting similar interest groups, they're bidding against each other in the same auction. Use Meta's audience overlap tool. Select 2 or more ad sets, click inspect, and look at the overlap percentage. Anything above 30% means you're competing with yourself. Signs of a broader saturation. If you have rising CPMs across all of your ad sets, even when you saw creatives, lookalike audience deliver worse results each month and retargeting pools shrinking below 1,000 users. A saturated audience is exhausted. The fix is broadening your targeting or finding new interest categories instead of raising the budget. Every significant edit resets the learning phase, and significant has a lower bar than most people realize. Budget changes over 20%, audience swaps, creative changes, bid strategy shifts. All of them trigger a reset. Meta needs about 50 conversions within 7 days to stabilize. One of the most common and most expensive mistake is killing a campaign on day 2 because the numbers look rough. You're pulling the plug before the algorithm has enough data to work with. Let new campaigns run 3 to 5 days before judging, and try to avoid stacking multiple edits in the same week. Okay, so this is the phase a lot of advertisers skip, and it's a dangerous one to miss, because a measurement problem looks identical to a performance problem in your dashboard. Your conversions drop, your ROAS tanks, and the natural reaction is to blame the ads. But the ads might be fine. So Apple's ATT framework. About 65% of iOS users who see the app tracking transparency prompt deny tracking. If iOS makes up 40 to 60% of your traffic, which is common for DTC brands, your reported conversions could be undercounting by 25 to 40%. That gap has been widening every quarter. On top of that, Safari caps first-party cookies at 7 days. Firefox blocks known trackers by default. Ad blockers strip the pixel from the page entirely. Your pixel data is incomplete in ways Ads Manager doesn't show you. So the fix here is Conversion API. Server-side tracking through KPI sends conversion data directly from your server to Meta, bypassing browser restrictions. So you can check your event match, quality score in Events Manager, and anything below 6.0 means you have meaningful data gaps. If you see 0 server events, KPI isn't connected at all, and every number in your Ads Manager is based on incomplete information. Meta's algorithm is also optimizing on that incomplete data, which means delivery itself gets worse. Attribution window changes. One more thing in this phase that catches people off guard is that Meta deprecated the 28-day window view attribution window. Campaigns that reported conversions under the old window now show 0 for the same actions. So if you're comparing current ROAS to numbers from a year or two ago, you're comparing different measurement systems. So we've covered 3 types of my ad stop working. But there's a layer underneath all of this that explains why creative fatigue hits faster, why performance drops feel more sudden, and why the old playbook of making small tweaks to extend a winning ad doesn't work anymore. Meta rolled out a system called Andromeda across all ad accounts by October 2025. Andromeda represents a 10,000x increase in the complexity of how Meta decides which ads to show to which people. Here's what that means for you. Andromeda assigns something called entity IDs to your creative assets, and it clusters ads that look, sound, or feel similar together. So if you made 5 variations of the same ad by swapping the background color, changing one line of text, or using a different font, Andromeda treats all 5 as the same creative. Similar equals same. So that ad you refreshed by changing the thumbnail or editing the opening line, Andromeda already grouped it with the original. So your audience is seeing it as the same ad they already ignored. So the practical impact here is that creative assets that used to last 6 to 8 weeks now fade in 2 to 3 weeks. The platform burns through creative faster because it evaluates more ads simultaneously and recognizes saturation sooner. And Meta's own recommendation now is 8 to 15 distinct creative concepts per campaign. Distinct means genuinely different: angles, hooks, and formats. A talking head testimonial, a product demo, and a UGC-style unboxing and text-on-screen explainer count as 4 distinct concepts. The same person wearing different outfits saying similar things does not. This is the structural reason behind so many of the symptoms we talked about earlier. Fatigue hitting sooner, performance dropping without warning, campaigns that worked for months suddenly stalling. Andromeda changed the rules, and your creative pipeline has to keep up. Okay, so big picture. Use the 3-phase framework as a regular habit. When your numbers drop, run through delivery, performance, and measurement in order before you start changing things. Most bad decisions comes from skipping the diagnosis, and build a few habits into your weekly workflow. Check frequency at the ad level every week. Don't wait for Meta's fatigue flag. Monitor event match quality in Events Manager monthly. Give new campaigns 3 to 5 days and at least 50 conversions before you make a call. But here's the underlying challenge. If Andromeda needs 8 to 15 genuinely distinct concepts every 2 to 3 weeks, your creative pipeline has to be able to sustain that. For a lot of teams, that's a real constraint. And this is what we built Admove for. Admove is an AI agent that generates fresh ad creatives for your products every week. You connect your store, it researches your product, and it generates video ads, image ads, scripts, hooks, all on brand through your brand hub. For agencies running multiple clients, each brand gets its own isolated workspace with separate creative history and approval workflows. The point is to keep your creative pipeline ahead of Andromeda's consumption rate instead of scrambling when performance dips. If you wanna try it, there's a link in the description. Okay, now I'm curious. Which phase are you dealing with right now? Is it delivery, performance, or measurement? Or did the Andromeda section make a few things click? Drop a comment below and let me know. If this was helpful, subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.